Welcome to my live. My daughter's calling me, but I'm going to kind of hang here with you guys. So I wanted to say hello. And wow, it's the Monday after Thanksgiving. Where has this year gone? It just feels kind of weird, like time is going by actually kind of quickly and yet also really slowly. I don't know if you're feeling that in your life, but I am definitely feeling that in mine. So wait, I'm going to just adjust this a little bit. Okay, I wanted to pop in today, Monday, because I like to go live Mondays at 2, and I feel like keeping routines during this time is super helpful. And what I wanted to really talk about is how to think about planning for 2021, because it's going to be here before you know it. And what I want to say, and if you're part of my coaching group and you've heard me talk about this, I like to think in 3-month chunks. Because the truth is, if I say to you, well, like, where do you think your business will be in a year? And you can have this idea of that, chances are you'll be wrong. Just because everything on the internet changes really quickly. Therefore, so hello people who have joined, welcome. Leave a comment so I can say hi. Anyway, it's better, I think, if you work online to really think about, I think in terms of 3-month goals, and then I think in terms of year-long goals, but my year-long goals are really more like potential, right? So 3-month goals are doable, 3-month goals you can plan for, and year-long goals are much more like, eventually I want to write a cookbook, or eventually I want to create a course, or those kinds of things. So when you think about 2021, what I ask my coaching group is, what are your top 3 goals? And can you make them really specific? The more specific, the better. So for example, I want to get 100 people on my email list between, let's say, January 2021 and end of March 2021. That's doable, that's trackable. And again, notice I'm not saying 1,000 people on my email list, I'm saying 100. Because I would say setting your goals low enough so that they're not intimidating, but high enough so that there is a little bit of a stretch. That's like the sweet spot. So for example, I want to grow my social media followers on Instagram to 1,000 followers, let's say, and you can use the MiloTree app to do that. But then I would ask you, what's the goal for that? What's the meta goal beyond just growing your followers? Like, what are you trying to accomplish with more followers? What are you trying to accomplish with more email subscribers? Because what I always say is, you're not a content creator, especially if you're a blogger, you're a content marketer, which is there has to be like a meta goal of a way that this will lead to you making money. Because otherwise, if you don't make money, it's not something that is sustainable. But if you can see income, it is sustainable and you can grow that. So therefore, I would love you to jot down right now 3 quick goals that you think you could achieve by March 2021. And what's cool about that is you could start now. So I'm going to give you then an extra month to reach those goals. But what are they? And if you would put a comment in and let me know so we can even have a discussion, that would be really cool. And then what I ask my coaching group, what are 3 kind of long-term, pie-in-the-sky goals, like real stretch goals, like I want a cookbook or I want this, because then you have both a vision of what is doable and achievable and trackable, and kind of how you can envision your business even bigger than it is. And that it's the tension between these 2 things that I think is where you want to be living. So that therefore, I wake up every day and I'm trying to grow my email list, or trying to grow my page views, or trying to make more sales. Okay, and I have a number that I'd like to hit that is realistic, but is a little bit of a stretch. And then I've got these larger goals that help me dream big. and help me go get beyond my day in and day in tasks, so that I can work towards something even larger. You know, people tell me all the time that being an online entrepreneur, being a blogger, is hard work, and there are so many hats that we wear. It's really hard to not get caught up in the daily tasks, and to give ourselves the time to step back and think about, oh, what is this all for? Like, what am I growing toward? Rather than, well, you know, I'm creating blog post after blog post, I'm sharing it on social, all of that. But like, what is it leading toward? That's the other thing that I'm always teaching, which is, what is the point of this blog post? How is this blog post growing my business? How is this social media share growing my business? To really push yourself to go that extra step, because that's really how you see growth, and you're not just on that treadmill all the time that can keep you feeling burnt, that can get you burnt out. I think that having these goals, both short-term and long-term goals, definitely helps you manage burnout. Because you can track where you are, and it doesn't just feel like, I always say, like you're yelling into the abyss. You're creating content, you're doing all this stuff, and like you don't feel like anything is clicking. And this way also you can say, well, wait a second, you know, I created this blog post and I put something in it to get email subscribers. Guess what? I've gotten no email subscribers from this blog post. It's like, okay, maybe this is not the right blog post. Maybe there's a way to update the blog post. Maybe there's a way to work on, say, an opt-in that is related to this blog post. Like if it's not connecting and you're seeing that, how can you rework it so that it does connect? Like that you get to kind of tweak and see and test. And that's the other thing that we talk a lot about, is what are these small tests that you can set up so that you can continue to finesse stuff. Again, these are strategies to get off of that hamster wheel and step back very quickly. Like I'm not, you know, you don't have to go away to like some sort of retreat and really think hard about your business. You get to kind of monitor it as it goes and see, how am I growing? How am I doing? How am I achieving these things that I've set for myself? Okay, so I am a big Post-it writer. So actually you can see I've started like all of these Post-its that I write on. You should see my desk. It's filled with Post-its. But one thing that I do is I put my Post-its up and I put them on my computer so that I know what I'm working toward. And it's like just a good reminder. You know, it's like these small systems that we can set up that aren't very complicated, that just keep us on track, that help us move forward. So a couple ways that, again, I recommend you move forward in 2021. First is my B- work rule. I really hope that you can internalize B- work for 2021, because it will get you moving faster and it will get you more what I call at-bats, where you can try different things. That's the second thing that I recommend, is continually running tests. And I think that the hardest, you know, people will say, well, how do I know what to test? And I say, see where your audience is, see what they're asking about, and then come up with a very quick, down and dirty B- work test. But here's the thing that I think is the biggest struggle for tests, and you can tell me if you agree with this. I think it's the emotional pain of when a test doesn't work and when it's not connecting, that can feel really bad and really hard to recover from. It almost keeps you from running more tests. So I want to say, assume your test isn't going to work. And if it does work, or if you get a little bit of traction, dig in deeper. But by sending, at least I tell myself that, like, this might not work. And so, you know what? It took a day or 3 days to put up like a landing page or to create a quick and easy opt-in. All right, guess what? Can I use this for learning? Can I build off of this? Is there any way that I can not chalk this up as like I'm a failure, but where you can say, oh, I learned from this. And so my recommendation is B- work and test quickly and fail quickly, because you'll learn from failure. And if you struggle with that, if you feel, because sometimes an experiment that I'm running does not work, and I will feel despondent. And then I give myself a little bit of time to kind of lick my wounds, but then I remind myself, this is part of being in the game. This is what it takes. So notice in your business, I challenge you in 2021 to not just do the stuff that you know how to do, like write a blog post, do a craft, that kind of thing, but to really push yourself to go to those places that are uncomfortable, where people might judge you, they might not buy your product, where your self-esteem can feel like it's more on the line. Now, it really isn't. We can talk about that. But it can feel a little like, it's one thing like, okay, I feel safe creating a blog post, a recipe, let's say putting it out there. Done. How do I feel about creating a product and putting it out there and then nobody buys it? Like, one thing that I noticed in myself, and you can tell me if this resonates with you, I will, fine putting out a blog post, let's say, however, but, if it is something where people can reject it, or my perception is they reject me, I'm less apt to put it out. I will kind of sit on it a lot longer than, say, a blog post that, might succeed, might not, doesn't really matter. But those times where I feel like, oh no, I could succeed at this or fail at this, I'm less apt to want to really push. So I recommend in 2021 to push. And if you have difficulty, if it feels bad, please reach out to me, because I will tell you I completely understand. So a couple things before I forget. I am running a sale that ends tonight at midnight Central Time, because I'm in Austin. So right now it's 2:12, and this is going to end at midnight. And it's a business coaching sale where we get on a phone call or get on a Zoom call, your preference. And what we do is we talk about your business goals. Now, before this, I've sent you a list of questions, not hard to fill out, kind of like send me links to your blog, send me links to your social media. Where are you getting traffic? What do you think is working for your business? What do you think isn't working? That kind of thing, very basic. And then we get on a call and we go through what your main goals are. So I've done some thinking with David, my husband and partner and tech guru, and we've really thought about your business. Now, what's cool from where I sit is, I've now started 2 successful businesses, Catch My Party, Milo Tree. But I also have this podcast where I get to talk to all these cool online entrepreneurs and bloggers. And 3, I coach bloggers and content creators and e-commerce shop owners. So I get to see all these different businesses and pull from all of these different places to hopefully help you, because a lot of times we get kind of siloed in our niche, or siloed in our business, or siloed in our monetization strategy. My goal is just to bring in new ideas for you. So what I want to do in this coaching call is, here we go, here's my second slide, is get your business plan created for 2021. What does that mean? Well, after we've talked, what I do before we talk, David and I sit down and we really discuss your business and what you're trying to do. We look at your blog or your website. David does his magic and kind of sees how it's doing and whether there are any technical things that we can suggest to you. Also strategic things. So for example, I'm going to start doing coaching calls tomorrow, and I'm only opening this for 10 spots, and I've got 2 spots left. So if you want to do this, here we go, wait. Definitely, I'm going to put a link to this. Hold on. Let's go to the comments. Here is a link to book your call. Okay, hopefully that will show up. So here's a link so that you can book your coaching call. But anyway, what we do is we get on this call. I hear what your business goals are. I talk through them with you to figure out what's working and what's not working. I give you my thoughts about your strategy, about where I think you could be successful, where I think you could even broaden this or even niche down. Could go one of two ways. And then after we get off the call, I email you my recommendations of what I think you could put into place to make more money in 2021. Again, you're a business person and I want to help you grow your revenue so that you have more money and you will stay in the game longer. It will keep you motivated. That is my whole purpose. And so that you leave with action steps. And I email you these action steps of here's what I recommend you do as you move forward in your business. So that's how it works. It's pretty, oh, cool. Here's a link to book your call. I love that I've got all these cool, wait, I think I need to do this. I've got all these cool tools with StreamYard and still just learning how to do it. So anyway, this is kind of how coaching works, but really it's hearing what you're saying to me and translating it. You know, I call myself a business translator. I take things that are working in online business and break them down so that you can then use them in your own business. That's always my goal. That is my goal with our one-on-one coaching call, is really to personalize your, let's see if I can, I don't know how to turn this up. Let's see. Do I know how to turn this off? I don't. Right? Banner. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Anyway, it's really to personalize something for you and your business so that you know what to do. You know, there are so many things that we need to do as online entrepreneurs. I would like to help you figure out what's important for your business to achieve your goals. And do your goals make sense? Like if you said to me, I want to make $1 million by June, I'm probably going to tell you that might be a hard, like a hard road to get there. And I'm not sure that by June that could happen. But if you said, I want to make $1 million, say in 3 years, I can help you think through how to get there. So that's really what I try to be, is very honest. I try to work toward your strengths because we all have them. So for example, if there's an area in your business that you hate, that's something I talk to people about. Is there a way to either minimize doing it or hire somebody to do it for you so that, again, I can help you stay in the game? Anybody I talk to says the key to their success is staying in the game. It's staying consistent. Everything I'm working on right now is all about that. You can show up for your business even when you don't want to show up for your business. That's like the secret. I wish that I had something more profound to say. You know, it's people say to me all the time, how did you grow your Catch My Party traffic so large? And I say, there's no magic bullet to that. And I wish there were, because two things. One, I'd use it for our own businesses. Two, I'd sell it. If I knew the answer, it's beyond, you know, the idea of you have to show up and you have to make some smart choices, but you really have to do the work. Like, that's not sexy. I wish I could sell you some tool or some course or something like that, which would guarantee you enormous traffic. It's not like that. It is showing up. And so that is always my advice. And it's true. Like, for example, with Google SEO, it's a long game. Pinterest is a long game. These are not overnight strategies. But if you kind of set up some good practices and then you continue to show up, you will be successful. And I really do believe that those who are successful are typically the ones who not only show up, though, they show up and they learn. They kind of become more finely tuned, more connected to their audiences, more responsive. They're listening. Like, those are the ingredients to success. And really, I want everybody who wants it to be successful in 2021. I'm starting to, I feel mixed, and you can tell me if you agree. On one hand, this feels like it might be a very dark winter, just because the numbers are going kind of upward. However, there's also like a potential light at the end of the tunnel. And I feel that, and I feel hopeful, and I feel like we could get our businesses back and we can get our lives back. And I haven't felt that hopeful in a very long time. And so therefore, I'm even more excited about 2021. I'm excited for people to start getting vaccinated, and we can just start thinking about travel or restaurants or I don't know, activities or school, all the things that we took for granted. And I feel hopefully it will come back. Like if your business took a hit in 2020, guess what? You can get it back. So that's my thinking. And that's really why I want to work with anybody who is willing to roll up their sleeves. I'm willing. I want to roll up my sleeves and help you. So, again, if you're interested, I left a link in the comments to sign up for a coaching session with me. The whole thing is going to go away at midnight, because really I'm doing this because I want to connect. I'm doing it selfishly for me, because I really love connecting with entrepreneurs. And if I can help, I feel so useful and I feel satisfied. So it feeds my soul. So this isn't just like a way for me to make money. This is really a way for me to get to know you and hopefully provide value for you, to inspire you, to keep you in the game, to give you the encouragement that hopefully changes the game for you. That's really my intention. So if you have any questions, leave me a comment. If you are watching the replay of this and you have any thoughts about, say, have you tried B- work? Have you tried running experiments, cheap experiments in your business? How's it going for you? Do you feel bad when they don't work like I do? And how do you deal with that? So I'd love to know. If you're watching the replay, please put #replay so I know where you're coming from. And I want to wish you, I put in my Facebook group that you might be watching this in. You also might be watching it. Oh, wait a second. Let me see something. Okay. You might be also watching this on Instagram. I mean, not on Instagram, on YouTube, that kind of thing. But I want to know, like, I want to know, what is your one goal between now and the end of the year? And I just put a post in my Facebook group asking that, because I'm curious to know what you're thinking in terms of growing your business during this time, because it is possible to do that. Also, if you have friends who are bloggers, please invite them to the Facebook group, because the more the merrier. It's all about us sharing content, helping each other grow, giving feedback, giving encouragement, sharing what we're building, sharing what we're creating. It's a really wonderful group. So I have to thank anybody who is watching this for showing up, and that this group is really all about the community. I think it is a really fun place to hang out. Okay, that's all I want to say. Have a wonderful rest of your week. I don't know if you're still eating leftovers. We finished our leftovers yesterday, and now we're gearing up for the 3 weeks of school my daughter has left before we are home again for Christmas. But hopefully the world looks even more hopeful in 3 weeks. That's my intention. I'm putting that out there. And so I wish you a positive week. If you have any questions or whatever, please reach out to me. You can find me on Facebook, message me, email me at jillian@mylotree.com. And that's all I had to say. All right. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.